Hello, my stars, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Basil, and today I will be reading the third fic in the series of Intellect and Fruit. The third fic is called Watermelon of Doom by Witty Jinx. But yeah, here's the summary. The watermelons are omens, warnings of things to come, pranks mostly, but you know. It was a well-known fact that Midoriya Izuku brought about chaos, but the thing that really got everyone was that he looked so soft and innocent, an angel, the perfect child. Hey, whore, why is there a watermelon on my desk? Nemuri asked, and Aizawa looked over. I don't know, bitch. It's not my job to deal with mysterious fruit. Well, fine, dumbass, she grumbled, picking up the watermelon to shift it to the other side. Screw you, asshole, Aizawa said, before backing out of the room, sleeping bag under one arm. Nemuri eyed the watermelon. It can't be too bad, right? I guess I'll keep it for a snack later, she said to herself. She was cutting open the watermelon, a knife in her hand, slicing into the skin, water dripping out rapidly. That's not water, she realized. Unfortunately, she only made this realization right after she made the final cut. The watermelon split open in front of her, coffee splattering everywhere, pouring out of the two hollowed out halves. Coffee was everywhere, dripping off the counter, dripping off her knife, everywhere. There was so much coffee. I can't do this, she whispered to herself, just as Yamada entered the teacher's lounge. What the hell? He said, taking a small step back. The damn... I'm going to kill Nedzu, Nemuri yelled, standing from where she collapsed on the floor. What? Why Nedzu? Yamada asked, watching the coffee slowly pool outwards. Nedzu brought that damn demon into this school! Nemuri yelled, and a vent opened above her. A demon, huh? Usually people call me an angel, Midoriya said from above her, and Nemuri sighed. Just let me be, she said, anger draining out of her. Okay, have a good night, Midnight, Midoriya said, and slipped back into the vents. I never want to have another cup of coffee, Nemuri said, thumping her head on the counter. More for me, Aizawa grumbled. The watermelon became an omen of things to come. If there was a watermelon on your desk in the morning, you needed to be wary because you were Midoriya's next target. The next time Nemuri spotted a watermelon on the desk, she panicked a little. Shit! There's a fucking watermelon! God damn it! I can't do this shit again! A little panicked. Only a little. For good reason. Last time she saw the watermelon, she couldn't drink coffee for over a week. She couldn't go through that again. On the bright side, the watermelon was on Aizawa's desk this time. Aizawa looked at it and sighed, and drew one of his many knives, and cut open the watermelon. Once again, like with Nemuri, it was hollowed out on the inside. A single mug inside. Aizawa liked the mug, clearly. He gave a tiny little smile at the cats on this mug, and put it on his desk. You're not prepared for what is about to come, Nemuri said. How bad can it be? He's a kid. He's in school. He doesn't have much time to plan, and he doesn't have much time to do anything. He's Nezu's student. Good point. I'll keep an eye out. Aizawa said, nodding to himself. Nothing happened the first day, or the second day, so he started to relax. He woke up on the third day, completely forgetting about Midoriya. Aizawa started up the coffee maker, relaxed, calm. Then he opened a cabinet. No mugs. Okay, maybe someone misplaced them. Another cabinet. Still no mugs. Cabinet after cabinet, there were no mugs in the 1A dorm. His mind drifted back to the watermelon. The watermelon was a mug inside. That was it. The watermelon panic. That was how Nemuri felt, wasn't it? There was someone behind him. Seems a bit muggy out today, came the familiar voice. The voice that had been bringing about all the problems at UA. Aizawa turned to see Midoriya in the dining room, sitting at the table, leaning back, his feet on the table. He was drinking coffee out of a bowl. I swear to all things holy, if I go outside and find all the mugs on the lawn, I'm going to expel you. Aizawa grumbled. Midoriya just grinned, continuing to sip out of the bowl. Aizawa stepped outside. There were no mugs. Midoriya, where the hell are the mugs? Aizawa said, leaning back inside. Midoriya was gone. The only sign that he had ever been there was a spill on the table and coffee in the shape of a smiley face. Aizawa had never felt this tired before. He sighed, then realized he could just go to the teacher's lounge and steal a mug and get some coffee, because he needed his coffee. So he went to the teacher's lounge, spotted Yamada on the way there, and reached the lounge before him. He went rummaging. There were no mugs at the mini kitchen. Where are the mugs at? He said to himself. What? Yamada asked. There are no mugs. Midoriya is muggling me. Aizawa said. He's muggling you? Yamada asked, seeming confused. He's unmugging me. He's stealing my mugs. All of them. Do you want one of my mugs? Yamada asked. Yes, I need the caffeine, Aizawa said, taking a deep breath. Yamada grinned, knowing him too well, and reached into his desk. I have no mugs. What? Aizawa asked. I have no mugs. I had 3 mugs in my desk drawer, and I have no more mugs. Yamada said. You have no mugs. Aizawa repeated, and Yamada nodded. This damn kid, he said, and Nemuri poked her head into the room. What has Midoriya done? She asked. He's gotten rid of all the mugs, Aizawa said. The mugs? I have some mugs, Nemuri said, heading over to her desk. And I have no mugs. When did he have time to do all this? Ectoplasm asked, finding his mugs missing as well. Midoriya has stolen all the mugs, Aizawa said. Where? Yamada said. Where did he hide them all? Ectoplasm said, and Nemuri shrugged. Good question. Maybe the vents? Nemuri said, and Aizawa nodded. He glanced at the freshly brewed coffee on the counter. Damn it. Did Aizawa just take the whole coffee pot? He drinks a whole pot anyway. I mean, we can't have any now, but I'd rather do without coffee for a day than have to put up with Aizawa not having coffee, Yamada said simply. And collectively, all the teachers agreed. Nedzu had received a watermelon the day before, and now Nedzu's office was full of mugs. Full of mugs. There had to be at least 300 mugs in his office, piled on his desk, the chair, in stacks on the floor. Everywhere, just mugs. On the windowsill, there were so many mugs. and it wasn't like there was anything in them, just hundreds of empty mugs. Midoriya, is there a reason I have so many mugs in my office? Nedzu asked. Midoriya just popped out of the vent. I needed somewhere to hide them, he said weakly. Whose mugs are these? Nedzu asked, putting his hands, behind his back. Everyone's? Midoriya said. I see. Well done, Midoriya. Thanks, Nedzu. He ducked back into the vents. Yamada was unprepared for the worry he would feel as soon as he saw the watermelon on his desk. Aizawa chucked him a knife from across the room, still sheathed, thankfully, and Yamada cut open the watermelon. Something popped, and water was spilling out across his desk and those important papers that he needed to give to Nedzu that he would need to redo now. What does this mean? He said quietly. Maybe a bucket on the doorway? Nemuri suggested. Or water in your desk drawers, Ectoplasm tried. Maybe a water gun, Aizawa said. I don't think any of those are allowed on campus, Yamada said, confused. I made the mistake of underestimating him, so you shouldn't, Aizawa said, taking 8 swallows of his mug before refilling. Yamada couldn't have been prepared. He simply couldn't. How was he supposed to figure out the watermelon with water inside? The first water balloon hit him early in the morning, walking from his peaceful sleep, blinking blearily as he rubbed water out of his eyes. He got his glasses on just in time to see the vent seal behind Midoriya, and he knew that the time had come. Midoriya was making his move, and it was water balloons. At least he knew what the pop in the balloon was now. As the day continued, Yamada was hit with 20 different water balloons in various colors, but wherever he would turn or look up, but whenever he would turn or look up, he would only see a piece of Midoriya. A lock of hair, his jacket, a smile, nothing more. Not enough to actually catch Midoriya. At the end of the day, Yamada was wearily used to the water balloons. When he turned every corner, he started expecting the water balloons, until there were none. For a solid hour, there were no more water balloons, and Yamada started getting anxious again, until he stepped into the teacher's lounge and a whole bucket of water fell on him. Yeah, I should have expected that at this point. You definitely should have, Nemuri said. Nedzu didn't know what he was expecting when he saw another watermelon on his desk. The mugs were finally cleared out of his office and the vents, and Midoriya put in another watermelon. Nedzu cut the watermelon open. It was just a hollowed out watermelon, nothing inside, just the rind. The next day, Aizawa dragged Midoriya in. Midoriya was wearing a pair of roller skates, with wheels made of watermelon. They couldn't have been very effective, but apparently they were. Aizawa! 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 Nedzu said, trying to catch the tired teacher's attention. Said teacher was staring at the mugs. My mugs. All the mugs, he said, then just turned and left, Midoriya dissolving into giggles. Who helped you make the skates? Nedzu said tiredly. Maybe he was making a mistake. Maybe Midoriya wasn't ready to be in the classes. Maybe... Well, I've listened to your lessons last night and sorted out help from someone who knew more than me. And who could that be? Hatsume. She helped me design the skates and helped me figure it out. I see. Is Miss Hatsume smart? Absolutely. She's like a genius, Midoriya said happily, rolling backwards a little before he righted himself. Then bring her in tomorrow. Maybe it will be best if the two of you together train. Nedzu had to get control of the situation because Power Loader has already been talking about the Hatsume girl, and Nedzu should snatch her up before something terrible happens. Midoriya seemed way too excited for this meeting, and Nedzu started wondering if maybe this was a mistake. Oh, Nedzu? Midoriya asked innocently. Yes, Midoriya, Nedzu said. Where do you think I can get more watermelons? Power Loader had seen the green-haired kid and Hatsume hit it off. He could consider it good because Hatsume was finally making a friend that could potentially pull her out of the workshop. Their first joint invention had been a pair of watermelon roller skates. The two had cut open 4 different watermelons to make the wheels, and then gave out watermelon slices to the rest of the support students. Of course, they had to test the skates immediately, which is why Midoriya was hurtling down the hall until he was caught by Aizawa, and Hatsume was sent into giggles behind the wall where she was hiding. Midoriya was back the next day, whispering to Hatsume, and instead of Power Loader having to tear Hatsume away so that she would go home, she left early with Midoriya. He discovered the next day that Hatsume was being trained under Nedzu, just like Midoriya. He felt a little fearful, especially when he saw a watermelon on his desk. He already knew about the mass chaos that Midoriya had caused alone, but Power Loader knew Hatsume as well, and he had seen the chaos the two had caused together, and Power Loader didn't want to go into that, so he didn't cut open the watermelon. If he didn't know what was inside, then they couldn't get him, right? Right? Wrong. 2 days after the watermelon appeared on his desk, he opened the door to his office, only for watermelons to tumble out. His entire office was full of watermelons. So many watermelons. What was he going to do with all these watermelons? I see that you have a lot of watermelons. Could I have some? Hatsume's smile was entirely too innocent to actually be innocent. Hatsume. Power Loader wasn't sure that he could do this. Ah, Power Loader! Not that kid again. He corrupted Hatsume. Hey, Izuku! Ready for today's invention? No, not again. Alright, my stars, that is the end of the fic. I enjoyed it, and I really hope you did too. Some things that I really liked about this fic now that Mei is involved in it. Together, I feel like they will cause a bunch of headaches Together, I think they will cause a bunch of chaos and headaches to Power Loader and all the other teachers. But yeah, and that's all I had to mostly say about this fic because it was super funny in that, and I didn't really note things down. But if you guys have any fic recommendations, you can put them in the comments, and I would love to see them. My Discord server and socials are in the description down below, so you can check them out. And yeah, that's the end. So I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, my stars.